that big, highly anticipated March 1 trade deadline between the U.S. and China that we were all discussing for so long is dead. President Trump tweeted on Sunday, "I will be delaying the U.S. increase in tariffs now scheduled for March 1. Assuming both sides make additional progress, we will be planning a summit for President Xi and myself at Mar-a-Lago to conclude an agreement. A very good weekend for U.S. and China." Jessica Smith joins us live from D.C. now to give us the latest. Jessica, sounds like good news.
Yeah, and we just got a pool report from the White House group of reporters, the pool there. And they said that the president talked to a group of governors. I'm looking at it now just a few minutes ago about talks with China, and he says that it went well. He said this, what caught my attention is they look like they're going to be coming back again, and we're going to have a signing summit, which is even better. So hopefully we'll get more details about what that entails. But as you mentioned, the president said he is delaying that March 1st deadline, and they're going to start planning a meeting with President Xi if enough progress is made in the coming days. He still wants to see more progress, though he says substantial progress has been made on those structural issues like IP, forced technology transfer, currency, and agriculture. So we'll be looking for more details on what exactly China has agreed to. We maybe could hear more from Bob Lighthizer when he is set to testify on Wednesday before Congress. We'll be watching that testimony really closely.
Yeah, you mentioned that progress has been made. It certainly sounds like both sides are already beginning to give way. Now, China just committed to buy an additional 10 million tons of U.S. soybeans. So President Trump's feed had a lot of tweets about that over the weekend. And then for America's part, President Trump sounds like he's laying the groundwork to soften his stance toward Huawei and ZTE. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, China has agreed to buy more agricultural products, but that's not going to be enough to satisfy everyone. Right. The administration wants a real structural deal. And this national security issue, the Huawei, the ZTE thing, is getting some attention because the president, as you mentioned, appears to be kind of softening his stance in the Oval Office. He was asked about Huawei and ZTE, and he said, we may or may not include that in the deal. His administration in the past has really stressed the fact that these are separate. One is a national security issue, one is a trade issue. The president also had that 5G, 6G tweet that raised some eyebrows a while back, leading people to speculate that he was maybe thinking about not putting a ban on Huawei and ZTE, as we have heard talks about in the past. He also said that he would be talking to the U.S. attorneys and the Attorney General about the criminal charges against Huawei. He says they're not discussing it now, but they will be in coming weeks. So we're going to be watching to see how ZTE and Huawei play into this trade deal, if they do.
Yeah, and briefly, Jessica, we talk about delaying that deadline, and obviously we don't have a new one yet. I'm skeptical that there needs to be a new one. I mean, we always were saying that March 1 deadline was kind of soft anyway. We thought it was just symbolic. Right. I mean, who's to say that there needs to be a new deadline put into place if there really is close to a big deal as Trump is kind of representing it?
Right. We don't know how long this is being delayed for. And as you say, yeah, we might not have another deadline if the next big event here is a meeting with President Xi. And with the president saying we're having a signing summit, not real sure what that means, but it seems pretty optimistic. So maybe there is no need for another deadline. Maybe we are closer to a deal. But there are people out there. Marco Rubio tweeted, buying more soybeans is not enough if the Chinese are going to keep stealing IP. So those structural issues are going to be tricky. And how do you enforce it? That's really the big question, is getting China to stick to its end of the bargain.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, signing summit, that sounds exciting at least and promising. Jessica, thanks so much.
Yeah.